Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. This video is going to discuss the organization of the nervous system. Let's start. The nervous system is a network of cells called neurons that coordinate actions and transmit signals between different parts of the body. Anatomically, the nervous system can be divided into two major regions, the central and the peripheral nervous systems. The central nervous system is the brain and the spinal cord, and the peripheral nervous system is everything else. It is a bit of an oversimplification to say that the CNS is what is inside skull and the vertebral column, and the peripheral nervous system is outside of them. In actuality, there are some elements of the peripheral nervous system that are within the cranial or vertebral cavities. Depending on different aspects of the nervous system, the dividing line between central and peripheral nervous system is not necessarily universal. Nervous tissue contains two basic types of cells, neurons and glial cells. The glial cells are of many varieties that provide a framework of tissue that supports the neurons and their activities. The neuron is the more important of the two because of its communicative function in the nervous system. To describe the functional divisions of the nervous system, it is important to understand the structure of a neuron. Neuronal cells have a cell body and its extensions. One of the extensions is called an axon, which is the fiber that connects a neuron with its target. Another type of extension that branches off from the cell body is the dendrite. Dendrites are responsible for receiving most of the input from other neurons. In nervous tissue, there are regions that predominantly contain cell bodies and are called gray matter. The regions that are largely composed of just axons are referred to as white matter. The picture demonstrates the appearance of these regions in the brain and the spinal cord. The colors ascribed to these regions are what would be seen in fresh or unstained nervous tissue. Gray matter can be pinkish because of its blood content or even slightly tan, depending on how long the tissue has been preserved. But white matter is white because axons are insulated by a lipid-rich substance called myelin. The cell bodies of neurons or axons can be located in discrete anatomical structures which have been given names which are specific to whether the structure is central or peripheral. A localized collection of neuron cell bodies in the CNS is referred to as a nucleus. In the peripheral nervous system, a cluster of neuron cell bodies is referred to as a ganglion. Terminology applied to bundles of axons also differs depending on location. A bundle of axons or fibers found in the CNS is called a tract, whereas the same thing in the peripheral nervous system would be called a nerve. There is an important point to make about these terms, which is that they can be both be used to refer to the same bundle of axons. When those axons are in the peripheral nervous system, the term is nerve. But if they are in the central nervous system, the term is tract. The nervous system is involved in receiving information about the environment around us and generating reactions to that information. But there is a third function which integrates sensory input with sensations originating within our body as well as with higher brain functions like memory, emotions, learning, and cognition. Some regions of the nervous system are termed integration or association areas. The process of integration combines sensory perceptions with higher cognitive functions to produce a response. There are two ways to consider how the nervous system is divided functionally. First, the basic functions of the nervous system are sensation, integration, and response. Secondly, control of the body can be somatic or automatic, that are largely defined by the structures that are involved in the response. Functionally, nervous system has a sensory division concerned with sensations and a motor division concerned with motor response. Brain and spinal cord are involved in both sensory and motor functions, but more importantly, they also contain the integration and control centers of the body. The brain stores memories and generates thoughts and emotions. The spinal cord relays sensory and motor information and controls reflex activities. The communication lines connecting the sensory and motor divisions with integrating and control centers are generally present in the peripheral nervous system. The sensory division conducts impulses from receptors to the integrating centers. The motor division conducts impulses from integrating centers to the motor effector organs. There are two subcomponents of sensory division. One conducts sensations from skin and superficial organs and is called the somatic sensory component. The general somatic sensations include touch, pain, thermal, and proprioceptive sensations. The special somatic sensations include vision and hearing. The one conducting impulses from the visceral organs is called visceral sensory component. It conducts general visceral sensations including stretch and chemical sensations. Additionally, it transmits special visceral sensations including smell and taste. The motor division also has two subdivisions. The somatic motor component conducts impulses from integrating centers to the skeletal muscles and controls voluntary movements of our muscles. The visceral motor component conducts impulses from integrating centers to the involuntary, smooth, and cardiac muscles, as well as to the glands of the body. This component is also called the autonomic nervous system. The autonomic nervous system comprises of two distinct divisions, namely sympathetic and parasympathetic system. The parasympathetic system helps in rest or digest functions and leads to restoration of energy. The sympathetic system helps body in coping with daily stress and occasional emergency situations like fight or flight phenomena. The enteric nervous system is believed to be an independent integrative nervous system inside the walls of the digestive tract. It is sometimes valid, however, to consider the enteric system to be under the autonomic nervous system because the neural structures that make up the enteric system are a component of the autonomic output that regulates digestion. Thanks for watching and listening. Do share this video with your friends and colleagues. If you like this video, subscribe to this channel for watching more videos.